Have a fulfilled life when we are connected to our purpose, when purpose is revealed to us. Jesus didn't come just to hang around. Some of us, we spend so much time just working and doing the everyday rigmarole that days turn into weeks, that turn into months, that turn into years. And before you turn around, 5, 10, 15, 20 years have passed. And you'll look back and you'll try to figure out what in the world is it for. Am I any farther along than I was 10 years ago? But when you're connected to your purpose, every day becomes an assignment. He says, wherefore came I forth out of the womb? In other words, why did I come out of my mother's womb? To see labor, to see sorrow, that my days should be consumed with shame. Prophet Jeremiah, if I could speak in modern day language, he's saying, what was I born for? Was it just for this work that I'm going through? And some of us are struggling with things. We're struggling. Might be monies, might be marriage, might be whatever it is, struggling. Was I just born for this sorrow? Was I born to just endure this shame? There is a purpose for everything that God creates. And there is a purpose for you and me. And you and I, once we find what that purpose is, once we find what that destined place is, we will find ourselves in a place of realizing God's goodness and favor and bounty in our lives. If you're not experiencing the glory of God, if you're not experiencing the favor of God, get connected to your purpose for living. Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, ye people from afar. The Lord hath called me from the womb. From the bowels of my mother hath he made mention of my name. And he hath made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand hath he hid me, and made me a polished shaft in his quiver hath he hid me. And said unto me, Thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. Then I said, I have labored in vain. I've spent my strength for naught, and in vain. Yet surely my judgment is with the Lord, and my work is with God. The writer here, Isaiah, speaking concerning being connected to his purpose. Isaiah, by the way, is one of those major prophets, prophesied the coming of Christ hundreds of years before he came. And he's saying here, how I spent so much time, even from the yet I left my mother's womb, but I spent so much time in vain. And do you know that a person can live their whole life and not be connected to their purpose and all of the potential that God has put on the inside of them? What is that potential? It's in the form of the passion that he placed on the inside of you. It's in the form of the spiritual gifts that he's placed on the inside of you. In the form of the measure of faith that he's given each one of us. Because God has given each one of us a measure of faith. The most prosperous place on this planet is the cemetery. The most prosperous place is the cemetery. Why? It's full of unfulfilled potential. But God is saying, listen, tonight, I want you to be mindful, no matter what your age is, no matter where you find yourself, no matter what you find yourself struggling with. Some of us are idle. We're not content. We're stuck. But he says here, the writer says, when I recognized what my purpose was, surely the judgment of the Lord is with him. have everlasting life. There is a dark community right around here within 100 feet of us. A part of the purpose is to connect somebody with Christ.
That's right.
Is to help somebody. Is to serve someone else.